update on Hunter and if you expect him to play tomorrow?
A little bit of an easy answer, being day to day. Definitely better today than he was on Monday. It was good for the guys to earn a day of rest, or kind of our recovery days, what it's been ever since Hoover on Mondays, and then back to work today. And he was involved in everything, but I don't know if he could have gone full speed, but he was cautioned to not go full speed through everything. So he did everything that our guys did, just not as much as he might.
You guys have either played or beaten all the rest of the teams that are here. I don't want to say comfortable, but does that help moving forward?
I think it gives you a little bit of understanding of what you're looking at, but each day is different. In particular here, everybody that you're going to face is going to bring a different starting pitcher to the table that day, different relievers available, and then a different mindset too. Again, every day's got its own flavor to it.
How much of a benefit is it having these 2 days off and being able to kind of, for a guy like Hunter, getting to rest, but also the pitching?
Monday's the big one. Monday's the big one. Here, you kind of get into a routine where you have a day off typically in between, so you just kind of roll with it. But there's been a lot of emotion lately. So the mental fatigue and physical fatigue certainly isn't anything these guys can't play with, especially in that stadium. But it helps kind of get you back to neutral and, heal up any, owies you got like you're talking about. But yesterday was a big one. Today was kind of back into our routine and a little bit back to normal business.
Have you decided on the pitching plan for tomorrow, and how important is it that Xander pitches in some capacity since he hasn't pitched in over a week in a game?
No, I think more importantly, last year he didn't get an opportunity to throw here. So for my peace of mind, I'm anxious to see him out there on the mound, and he will start for us. And then, how he does, it's like the same thing. Every day is different. So when we get out there in the first inning, regardless of who it is, if it's Stom or somebody else, we're looking to hunt down 3 outs as quickly as possible, and then we'll move on to that next inning, whatever it might be.
Tony, after that Evansville series in the Super Regional, you talked about Xander when you were recruiting him, that would be a guy that would play in Omaha one day in the College World Series. Just with that opportunity coming up for him, how excited are you for it?
We're really excited. I think kind of the mindset more there, the comment was related to this is the guy that has the ability to pitch on the weekend, which he's accomplished that, and help pitch your team to Omaha, which he did last year as well. I mean, it's so crucial every game that you play, and he's logged a ton of innings for us in his career with us, and just been a good leader and a good teammate as well. So I think that vision was accurate, but now I don't want to call it gravy or anything like that, but now it's time to enjoy the opportunity for him to compete, and then for us to enjoy the opportunity to watch him compete while at the same time just kind of managing the game as best we see fit.
How important is the work you guys have done in the transfer portal the last 2 years been in getting to Omaha the last 2 seasons?
I think it's been crucial because, things kind of started in 21 and certainly carried over into 22 where guys played a little higher than expectations, so good for them. But then on us in the office, it leaves you scrambling a little bit because you're always trying to predict the future and kind of try and predict the draft, which is very difficult to do. And when guys kind of play a little bit better than maybe expectations, it pushes them forward. And so you got to make up ground, and the portal helps you do that for sure.
Dwayne Tavares has played at the plate and on defense. Is that kind of what you've envisioned since recruiting him, like what he's done this last month for you?
Not really. I mean, that one was different. That was a long time ago. He was really young. He had an opposite field homer at a tournament on our field, and we were able to visit with the family in some capacity, and they're just real lovable people. I was texting with a friend that doesn't even know that much about our team and was pointing out how he looks like, just on TV, he seems like a great kid, and hit the nail on the head with that. And it comes from that entire family, including his brother that's always at our games. So we just thought, here's an in-state kid. He's got the pop that you're looking for, where he can take advantage of the way our field can play for a left-handed hitter. And then on top of it, again, just a really enjoyable kid. And again, we've talked about our team chemistry and camaraderie. That's very easy to do and throw it all under one blanket, but there's a lot of components to that, and he's a huge one.
Tony, 4 of the last 6 remaining in the SEC, and will be 3 of the last 4 as well. And what does that say just overall about the strength of the conference?
I think the way the league prepares you is massive. So I think everyone knows what type of athletes we have in the league, and the media attention and the fan bases and the competitiveness of the games, to me, speaks more to how it prepares you for whatever is ahead, whether it be pro ball for these guys. I mean, look at what's going on there with guys leapfrogging the minor leagues, and then for challenges here, like playing the best teams in the ACC. And then as far as the ACC and the SEC combined, I think whether you like it or not, the rich get richer with some of these facilities, some of the recruiting rules that are going down, and so you kind of see this grouping of elite athletes, making coaches like us look smart, and making the league quite honestly hell to compete in. But on the other side of that is some good things. Like I said, immense preparation.
On Facebook today, Mav from Northern Kentucky posted it.
Nice.
You guys sent him some banners.
Yeah.
Just what went into the decision to make sure he got those?
I think sometimes you get off on a tangent saying this guy wants to win more than the other. I don't think anyone brought as much passion for enjoying to be in that regional environment, but also wanting to win the regional environment. And then unfortunately, outside of our office, we're able to watch some of the games and to see their season end. It was a magical run for those guys, making absolutely the most of their resources, and no one was more heartbroken than him. So we just wanted to make sure he had a good, keepsake. I know it won't be his last, but it was his first, so hopefully it's a good keepsake. And I didn't know that, so there's social media ain't all that bad.
From an outside perspective, it does seem like some people kind of want to look at the personality of previous Tennessee teams and project it onto this group. Is that really accurate with this group when it comes to the identity you've had versus maybe the last couple of teams?
I think a little bit. I think you could say a little misconstrued in favor of this team, a little misconstrued in favor of the other team. I've kind of beat it to death, and I don't know that it won't get enough attention to change anyone's mind, but between all of us, the worst thing that happened in that year was Jordan Beck. God love him, which we do, and he's made us look good. He's made it to the big leagues, and people in the Rockies organization know what a great kid he is. But the highlight of him doing what he did, for whatever reason he did it, kind of let everybody say, see, I told you so. But if anyone, like you all, were actually around that group day in and day out, you knew they were really feisty on the field, and off the field, they took as much time in community service, as much time signing autographs, were as good to you guys as I'd like to think, and you guys are always very complimentary to them. So I think this group has picked up where they've left off. It's a different time, and maybe it's my fault. When we got the job, we took a lot of beatings our first year, and we also took a lot of this. And everybody kind of kept note of that, and we challenged our guys in our program at the very least to earn respect from your teammates, from your coaches, from your opponents, from the league, and to make sure we belonged. And the old opportunity doesn't knock. You better kick the door down. So I think there was a little different mindset going on, in particular that 21 team. They didn't win as many games, but those guys did some things where we had to say in the locker room, let's tone it down a little bit, appreciate the intensity. So kind of some thoughts to that.
Kobe winning the game the other day. Who were some other guys, if Hunter's not in center field, that you have confidence in out there in center?
KT, Reese, Backus is shown in Lexington. The ground he covered and running into the wall was shades of what Ensley's capable of doing. And Dylan's been out there. Dylan's been really good for us in left field, but he's been out there. I trust Christian Moore at a very high level on the infield. So while he'd like to be out there to show his athleticism and it's fun for him to run around, I think we trust him on the infield too much. So there's a lot of guys. I mean, you've seen us use all the outfielders we have used this year. The only one I take out of that group is Charlie Taylor. We're just not going to do that again. Anybody else?
Tony, you talk about Christian saying he could go play center field. He played shortstop the first part of the year. I mean, what's that say about that player at that level to your best player in many respects to be that versatile and want to be that versatile?
Yeah, it's huge. And we talked about 22. I mean, if you got, right next door to genius is sometimes insanity. It's kind of, I think, how the phrase goes. And some of those personalities in there are guys that really want to win, and it comes out in a bunch of different ways. So again, regardless of what portrait you want to paint of any of our best players, the thing we have going on is the guys with the most talent also have a lot of work ethic, but definitely have the willingness or attitude that you want, very receptive to coaching and willing to do whatever you ask them to do. So if he's doing it, then everybody else should certainly be doing it as well, and vice versa. So it's kind of a nice go-around in the locker room.
And to Hunter Ensley's catch the other night when it happened?
Pretty much like, holy crap, did he just do that? I couldn't tell if he was conscious or not whenever he got up, but that's just who Hunter Ensley is. He's willing to do whatever it takes to just make a play on the ball and help us win ball games. So it just shows what kind of guy he is and what kind of teammate he is.
Cal, how much does it help having played both of these teams before and beaten them moving forward?
I mean, it's still baseball at the end of the day. It's always good to see different teams, and you might have more scouting reports on them now, but at the end of the day, it's just we're playing another team on a diamond with 60-foot mound, 90-foot bases, and we're just trying to play baseball.
What would you say has made Xander so effective on the mound the last month?
Xander just being Xander. He's going to go out there and compete. No matter what pitches he has, what's working for him that day, he's going to give it. He's going to give it all he has, and he's going to put his best foot forward for the team. So if he can do that again tomorrow, I like our chances.
Was there a game he had where you're like, okay, he's on a different level now?
I think it was that one against Evansville in the Super Regional. I mean, you can pick either one, Evansville or Southern Miss. I mean, both those games he threw the ball really well. He competed like he has all year, and so we're just hoping he can do that again.
What was different for Drew Sunday night, I guess, compared to his last couple outings?
Yeah, I think it was just he was getting ahead early in counts like he had been, but like we had talked about, he was able to find that put away pitch. He made quality pitches in 2-strike counts. He pitched to contact. It's a big ballpark out there, so being able to do that, pitch to contact and use your defense, you got to rely on your defense. So he was able to do that really well. Really, all the pitchers have done that, and so just him doing that, I think just kind of helped him and getting a better groove.
All the downtime. What do you guys do for 2 days?
I know a bunch of us went to the zoo yesterday, hang out in the rooms, play video games, just kind of spend time together. This is our last week together as a team, so trying to take advantage of that. Just hanging out in the hotel, going to lunch, going to dinner, things like that. So it's been fun.
What are your favorite animals at the zoo?
I was not one that went to the zoo. I chose to hang out and just kind of kick my feet up a little bit.
Cal, watching Christian more over the last couple of years, what have you seen from him in terms of development to get to the point where he wants to now?
I mean, the stuff he does on a pretty consistent basis is just unreal. I mean, I don't know what his exact stats are, but he's probably the best player I've ever played on the ball field with. So being able to see that, firsthand and in the dugout, just seeing him just consistently barrel at baseballs. And I think game 1 he had 4 or 5 balls hit, 4 balls hit over 110. I mean, that's not normal. So being able to see that firsthand is pretty special.
Video game of choice for the team this week?
It'll be the show.
Okay.
Me and Chris Stamos and Aaron Combs have been grinding that game. Probably a little too much.
Are you using KT's monitor? I saw a few guys brought monitors with them.
No, Stommy's just hooking it up to the TV. I'm rooming with Robin. Rob brought his monitor as well. So they are pretty much the whole team is on that game.
Having been here last year, do you feel like this team is looser now playing in this ballpark, kind of going through the motions of the week?
Yeah, I think to some extent. The first game that each team gets out there, that there's going to be a little extra jitters, a little extra nerves. Could be playing a little more tight than you normally would be, just because of the atmosphere and the environment here. I mean, it's different. We had a lot of Tennessee fans here, and then just a lot of college baseball fans. So I mean, I don't know the exact amount of people that were there, but playing in front of that and that amount is for the first time. It's just different. So being able to get the first one out of the way, I think we're a lot looser the second game. Played a lot better ball, and so I think just being able to do that is just helping us as we go.
We were curious, is the Ferris wheel a distraction at the plate?
Actually, I was thinking that the other day. It's not a distraction, but I was like, man, those lights, like if they're flickering weird. I mean, it's kind of close to that batter's eye, but no, it's not a distraction.
Anything else for Cal? Who's the best show player?
The best show player? Myself.
Classic.
Let's start with Andy.
I don't know, a little bit of everything, honestly. Especially having defense behind you, kind of putting balls in play is kind of been what I've been doing all week. I think I've only had 2 strikeouts or something, so kind of putting the ball in play, trusting the defense. So.
You've got a cool thing going with Normal Vol Fan on Twitter. When did that start? Why did you want to start doing that?
I don't know. I think social media can be fun. You make it fun, it'll be fun. So I think replying to guys like that is just fun and make it a good fan base. So.
Yeah.
How have the off days here impacted you as a guy that can potentially pitch, if you don't go too far in every game?
Right. It's been good, especially yesterday having completely off. I think that gives a good reset on the body, especially having today as a little lower day. And all I did was play catch, so at YM live. So But I mean, it feels great, especially the spread out days. I mean, I feel like I could be ready for a while still. So.
What do you think was the biggest difference for the pitching staff from that game 1 against FSU to game 2?
I think Beam helped us a lot on that second game. I mean, his motivation and drive helps a lot of people. So they see that and they want to go out there and kind of piggyback off him and kind of go what he did. So I think it's huge, and we save a lot of pitching doing that. So.
Does playing in the bigger park kind of change your approach on the mound, knowing you have maybe more room for error?
No, not really. I mean, I've done what I've done all season, so I'm just going to stick to that. It's been working, so there's no reason to change.
You have a chance to watch other games this week?
I have not gone yet. I don't know if I want to, but I haven't yet. So.
Have you been at all before?
No, I've never been here. It's my first time, so it's a pretty cool experience.
I asked Cal, having faced both of these teams that you would play tomorrow, does it help at all?
Doesn't really matter. Game's still a game. Anyone can win at any time, so I guess we'll see.
Having good players helps. What is it about this team since you've been a part of it that is impressing why you think Tony's had such success?
Yeah, we got a lot of drive, a lot of passion. Our will to win is always there. I thought we showed that really well in the FSU game. That last inning was really special. But I mean, day in and day out, we're always together and we're always rooting for each other. So I think that's a big part too.
When you transfer here from Wichita State, you obviously envisioned being in this moment. How much has it lived up to the hype?
It's actually more than I thought it would be. You get all like the fun gear and everything. I knew that was coming, but you don't realize how much you get, and like playing in the park like that and being a part of the team and the whole people outside your hotel. It's a completely not what I thought it was going to be. So.
What was your reaction to Hunter's catch the other night?
Holy cuss word. That was pretty cool. I was just hoping he was okay, honestly, because from our angle, you couldn't tell how hard he hit it. But like, there's the angles on like Twitter and everything. I mean, he hit the wall pretty hard. So I was just hoping he was okay, but he ended up coming out of the game eventually. But he should be fine.
I know Drew was pitching when he made that catch, but you've had guys make plays, maybe not that well, but behind you. When you're on the mound and you see somebody do that, I mean, what's that kind of? How does it make you feel?
I mean, it feels awesome. It really does, especially you don't got a guy on base or you gave up a hit or something like that. But I think it helps the guys. It kind of turns the motivation around. I feel like we all get a spark from it, so kind of get that extra little boost, I'd say. So.
Florida State's in the driver's seat right now in that game. If it is the Seminoles again, I mean, how important will it be to get out a fast start? You're not in a situation where you need to have amazing rally wins.
Yeah, I think we'll do what we do. We're going to go up to bat. We're going to put up competitive ABs, and we're going to go out there on the mound, and we're going to give it our all. I mean, the outcome's the outcome. It's the team we're going to play. So.
Nate.